Good evening, everyone. It's 7:15, October 23. We're getting ready to start Community Board 12, the Northeast Bronx. Good evening. First in the agenda, we're gonna have the public gallery session. That's where the public is gonna come up. Everyone's gonna have 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes to see what they have to say. Is there a list?
Do we have a list for the public?
I'm sorry. I don't think so.
It's gone. Somebody might have it. I got the speaker sign this?
Who has the speakers list?
Oh. I want to mention anything about it moving last night or? Okay. Because it's still kind of.
Yeah, no, that's why I didn't invite them to come.
Who the heck?
They're gonna come on the 13th.
Mui? Is someone here named Mui? You to speak? Yeah, Javid. Okay, we're gonna move on. Sandy Lariano, he's coming. Okay, you could come.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mui, and I'm a independent news writer in college, and I hope to write a news report for this community and send to public news report event in New York City in November. Since the last community boards, I have been to this community many times. I think this community has many very good stories, and I want to tell this story to others. So I hope my news report can really let people know about this community board organization and what the boards are doing. And I'm really hope that my news report articles can speak out for the people who are fighting for their rights and interests in this community. I sincerely wish more people can hear their voices and provide them with additional support. So if anyone has any actions or plans, please contact me, and I want to write the reports out. Thank you.
Wait, hold on. Could you give out your contact information?
Yes, and my phone number is 201 328 4021. Please contact me if you have any.
Say it one more time.
It's 201 328 4021. Please send me messages if you have any. My name is Mui, M-U-Y-I. Thank you.
Okay. All right, good, Johnny Goff. You have a mic down there?
One question. Hi, you said you're a student at which college?
I'm a student in Parsons School of Design.
Okay, is this an assignment for you, or are you just doing this on your own?
Oh, this is not an assignment. This is purely interest.
Okay, okay.
Excuse me? I plan to move here, and my family used to live here before, so that there's a connection.
Interesting.
Thank you so much.
Interesting.
Next person is Sandy Liriano.
Good evening, members of CB12. My name is Sandy Liriano. I work for the New York City Civilian Complaint Review Board. We are a city government agency that investigates allegations of police misconduct. So if individuals in the community feel like they've had an interaction where an officer is using the use of physical force, abusing their authority, being discourteous, or using offensive language, people can reach out to our agency to file a complaint at 1-800-341-2272, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. to speak to one of the staff members. Would you like me to repeat the number again? Yes, okay. 1-800-341-2272. I will also say that you can file complaints virtually online as well. If you just Google Civilian Complaint Review Board, it should take you to our website where you can file a complaint online. And you can also go to your local precinct to file a complaint, as well as all NYPD precincts across the 5 boroughs carry our complaint forms as well.
All right, thank you for coming and sharing that information. To what extent can something be done? This is a hypothetical, because I do know that these complaint boards still have to go to the commissioner, and he can, whoever the commissioner is, he or she can just strike them down and not follow up with any kind of repercussions for an officer if they do overstep their boundaries. So what kind of power can civilian review boards hope to attain or continue to attain to address this issue?
That's a great question. And I think you're absolutely right. So the Commissioner Tish, which is the current commissioner, she can absolutely decide to go in opposition to what, we may suggest would be an appropriate response for an officer's actions in question. And in those situations, I think the most important thing is that this is for transparency's sake, to get different laws on the books. Many elected officials take a look at our reports. And I think that's just one of the most important things. I don't know how many of you know about the Right to Know Act, but that is a direct result to politicians taking a look at the information that civilians are, filing complaints. And yeah. I don't know if that answered your question. Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Thank you. Is there a particular reason why you came here today? Because I've been here for a while, I've never seen CCBR come here to.
We are supposed to come to all community boards to share the information. There just hasn't been a person in the position for a while. So now I'm here. I will also, I can also provide my personal contact cards. They're in my bag, so I don't remember the phone number off the top of my head. But if anybody needs them, I will pass them out to you guys. Yes. Do you have a question? Oh, gotcha. So I'll hand them out.
There's one more question over here.
Yes.
Are you on the Civilian Complaint Review Board, or are you just a representative?
No, so I work for the agency in outreach. The people who are actually working on the board is made up of a different number of people. The mayor chooses 5 people, city council chooses 5 people, 1 person from each borough. The commissioner designates 3 former NYPD officers because we need their perspective on the board. The public advocate, Jamani Williams, he puts 1 person, and then the city council and the mayor choose a chair, which at this moment, we only have an interim chair.
Okay, being retired from NYPD for 21 years and
Thank you for your
fighting,
service.
and thank you, and fighting against NYPD while I was in NYPD, and I continue to fight against them while I'm out. When people make complaints against them, especially in the precinct where they live, all right, those complaints get destroyed. They go right in the waste paper basket because you have a person from the community come in to make a complaint about a cop who the sergeant on the desk knows. and 9 times out of 10, right, they get put in the garbage. And that's been happening for the last almost 40 years. So what's being done about that? Because I know that that has happened.
So I don't have any information on that, but that's why we give people multiple options. I just mentioned that because that is an option. And if the individual doesn't feel comfortable with having the officer at the desk fill out the complaint form for them, you can always ask for the form and a postage-free envelope that you can mail to us.
It would be best in the future, it would be best to give that information, because even if they go to another precinct, like the adjoining precinct, or even a precinct in another borough, what the sergeant will do wherever they go, or the lieutenant, is they will notify the precinct that the complaint is being, the officer that's in the precinct that's being lodged against. That will happen too. So the best way to do it is for people to get the form and to mail it, because the last thing I want to say is that when you go into the precinct and do that, you're giving up all your information. And what some officers will do is they will target the person that came in and gave that information. So the best way to go about it is to make sure that people get the form and let them send the form, mail the form in. That's the best way to
Yeah,
do it.
and my recommendation is file the complaint online. If you need to file a complaint, it's just easier that way for yourself or for us. But we know that there's people that like the old school to write things down, so it's an option that's there for people as well. All right.
Thank you very much, Sandy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next person is Guy Loving. Mr. Guy Loving.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It is a great night to be out tonight. A little brisk, but it's a good night to be out. My name is Guy Loving, and I'm representing the Uptown Family Enrichment Center, the Family Enrichment Center of your community. We had a wonderful last month. We had a World Mental Health Day event. Our very own Dr. Finn did a presentation. Aim High presented. We had a lot of youth come and turn out. It was a wonderful event. We thank you for your support, and we look forward to our upcoming events. The next event that we have coming is that we will be going with Dr. Garth, who has given us 2 tables. So we're going to get some families that are in need to go to the Eastwood. That's what we're working on. Thank you, and just come by and visit us. We're at 3535 Holland Avenue. Come by and pay us a visit.
Thank you. Leon Campbell.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Leon. Yes, I'm a super for a building by 3530 Bickle Avenue, and I live on that block also too. And I've been the super there since 2018, and the street was fine until after the building built. The water, when it rains, does not go anywhere. They pave it twice, and when people try to get inside of the building, they have to walk all the way up by the dead end, even out of cabs. Even me, my shoes got wet from water, and it doesn't go anywhere. And when the building wasn't there, it was fine. And also there's a couple tree up by the dead end what lean down on the light pole that have electric in it. When it was windy a couple days ago, a branch fell on somebody's car, and I don't know how them trees still not falling down as yet. And it is dark up there. And I told the owner for the building, there's a light was there, went out, need to replace. A lot of guys bring whores and prostitutes come up there in the dark to hang out. A couple of years ago, they steal cars and bring it up there. And he refused to show the 47 precinct, the video, and guys been doing illegal drugs transaction up there, and have argument with anybody who come to say anything to them, because I'm criminal like darkness. So also we need a light on that light pole up by the dead end. So when they stay far and see it, then they go somewhere else with the activity. And a guy that live in the building on the 10th of this month have a problem with one of the tenants there.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
your time is up. So what's gonna happen is at the end of the meeting, I'll meet with you and get your information. And we're gonna give it to one of the officers in the 47 precinct, the community
Yes.
officer.
Yes, because I'm not getting no help from them, and I try. I'm trying to stand up for what is right.
There's another thing that we have. There was the Department of, was it the environment? They had come in to talk about reporting for flooding in the area. We could
Yeah.
relay that information as
DEP.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, we're gonna get his information and share it with Ursula.
yeah.
And, because it seemed like he had like a couple different issues,
Yeah.
tree pruning,
Lighting.
flooding, lighting. So,
So this is the block that I live on.
I know her too.
Yeah, this is one of my neighbors. So this is the block that I live on. I've made several 311 complaints.
yeah.
And they'll start to open it, and then next thing you know, it's closed. So this also goes back to that 311 complaint issue that we're talking about, and then they close it right away. He's also been to several 47 precinct meetings. He's met with the commander from what I'm, correct?
Yes.
He's met with the commander from what I'm aware of.
Haven't done anything.
So nothing is still happening. So for me, that's where the issue also lies, because we're communicating this, but nothing is happening.
Okay.
And then you have people like me who live on this block, like, that's not fair to us either. You know what I mean? Because all of this is happening, we're reporting it, but nothing is happening. So that's just what I wanted to also say. So I'm just echoing what you're saying, okay?
And one more last thing. There are people using construction cones down in Chester, holding parking space, and want to fight people who move cones to park as if they own the street. Have cones, 5, 6 cones block off the whole block.
To add to that, it is very dark in that area. I don't even walk up that one way after a certain time. Like, for example, one time Mr. Softy was outside and I really wanted some ice cream, but it was after a certain time and I was like, I ain't walking up that block because it's too dark. So I say that to say the lighting is really an issue. It's a big safety concern, because one second, Andy. If somebody who wasn't from this neighborhood was to walk up there, they're not going to know that. And that's where the safety concern lies for me.
One second.
Okay.
The request for additional street lighting is in, if I'm not mistaken, it was approved. We cannot determine whose property that is with the trees. We're working on it. We can't determine if it's an uncut street or if it belongs to somebody. I'm on it.
Okay. That I didn't know. I did not know. So actually, I had met this gentleman at the 47 precinct a couple of times, but just meeting him today, he discussing this flooding issue on his block. It came to my attention that I was actually working on that as well. Unfortunately, DOT has not been as responsive as I would like regarding this specific issue. So I'm hoping to hopefully write an official letter from our office to get a more detailed explanation as to what can be done about, because essentially what the issue is, the repaving of the street is causing a lot of the water to be retained in a certain directional specific area of the street, and it's causing a lot of flooding. So if I could just work with you guys on that, I would greatly appreciate that, because that's also an issue. It's also due for a lot of tree pruning that hasn't been done, and we can also follow with DOT about the street lighting.
How about DEP? Because DEP is the one with the person's in charge of the catch basins.
100%, but I I would like to ask DP if this is something that they can look into, but I generally think that the main issue that's being caused is because of the way the street is made and the way that it hasn't been really like paved well. But we can include them as well. I would like that. Thank you.
I would like to make, and I'll speak to whoever I have to speak to when one of our residents makes a complaint and we have our own fin, talking about the commanding officer of the 4-7 precinct, not answering them, we should invite them here with the community residents and we should question them in the presence of them. And I believe we can do that. Am I correct? So I want to make sure that we send a letter or whatever we have to do, bring that commanding officer in here, let the gentleman know and everybody else that lives on that block, they should be here and we should back them up.
Okay, great.
Just to answer you, I sit on the 47 Precinct Community Council, so this gentleman has been coming. The CO has been giving him the time of day. So it's not like the CO is ignoring him. So I sit on the precinct council, so this gentleman has been coming every meeting, and he has been taken care of. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you're saying that the CO or the community affair officers are not helping you. I doubt that very much. The gentleman in the red shirt, in the red jumpsuit. Mr. Cameron. No, hold on. Huh?
They should be someone's name.
That's what I'm.
Okay, so the street, Mickle Street is a paper street. We find these a lot in our area. A paper street is a street on paper, but in reality, it's Mickle Street where it just dead ends and there's a bunch of trees and people dump trash and, stuff like that. So from my knowledge, the city doesn't have any kind of policy on how to address these types of spaces. We brought it up at the Parks Committee meeting, but if there are thoughts about how to transform this type of space, I think people would be really interested in hearing about that.
That's the thing. So you're referring to spaces that are both like city-owned or private?
Maybe we should talk offline about it. It's a detailed.
Okay, so we'll move on and you guys can meet and talk about it. The last person is Don Simmons. Yeah, we're gonna get him. Don Simmons is the last person. Don?
Hello.
Okay.
Good evening. Yes, I had a concern, transportation as always. It's concerning that I didn't like the bike lanes. That's messing up White Plains Road. And now they've put these little plastic things to keep people from, now they're putting virtual rocks in the middle of White Plains Road, even in front of hydrants. Now, when there's a fire and the fire truck cannot get into the space, what are we going to do as a community? We should have never had these bike lanes. I'm not against bicycles, but it shouldn't be underneath White Plains Road. We have enough trying to drive on White Plains Road. There are steel girders all over the place. And now they've put rocks because people are, how would I put it? They're driving over the little plastic things. So basically at this rate, nobody's supposed to park on White Plains Road. Excuse me? They've been slowly putting boulders in the middle of White Plains Road. White Plains Road, they're steadily putting rocks and boulders in the middle of the street. Actually, I've even seen the garbage starting from 238th Street. They've moved the garbage right next to the girder, like where the bus stop would be. Because clearly, because of how the cars are parked now, That's the only way they can access the garbage. So I would like something to be done about how, there's nowhere else in the city that I see a bike lane underneath the elevated train. It's unsafe. The fire department right next door, they're blocking the bike lane. It's just not fair, and it's unsafe. And they are complaining about we can't do response times. They can't, because where is anybody supposed to go? A normal train area, people who double park, okay, I'll just go to the side. You cannot do anything when deliveries are done. People got to go around the delivery truck in the middle of the street. It's not fair. And I live in this community, and I'm just tired of seeing this. I won't even mention the Misericordia. I don't know if you followed up on that. The Montefiore food truck that sits there, and so yeah, that's another issue. But I think that these rocks that are now taking the place on White Plains Road is too much.
Ursula is behind you. She has something
Okay,
to
thank
say.
you.
So I have no comment about the bike lanes, but I will tell you that area was left that way because that's what FDNY requested for them to be able to turn. But people took it as a parking area, so that's why DOT is putting the blocks there, because they don't want the rocks, because they don't want anybody to park there. And they called me today because they're getting ready to put some right here in front of our building, because FDNY keeps parking there. And EMS keeps parking there. They don't want EMS to park there, so they're gonna put rocks there. I have no comment about the bike lanes. Sorry.
All right, great. We have,
I have a
guys,
quick question. I have a quick question. So because there's a lot of stuff that happens on well, in general, but on White Plains Road that we weren't preview on the information of, is it possible with these boulders, like having like, I don't know, to put on the boulder itself or signs of FDNY, like, because people, they just don't know. Like, I think a lot of changes happen and they kind of don't know what things are for. I did see that space on White Plains Road. I didn't realize that space was for that, because on White Plains Road now, not only are people like parking literally in the middle of the street, but they're parking on the sidewalk. Like, people are gonna figure it out. But if there's a way to kind of designate those spaces and have signs, maybe that can help like people just be aware of certain things that's happening.
thank you. Thank you. We have,
Just keep the rocks, FDNY, because waiting for signs takes a long time. Just paint the rocks.
they put some on 233rd on where that new building went up by the fire station, and they are painted. So this is something that DOT has been doing all over to delineate spaces where they don't want you to park. So this is not just our community. I saw it in Greenpoint. I saw it in Queens. So we're gonna move on. All right. We have one more person online, guys. Yeah, we have one person online.
Right. Hi, everyone. I'd just like to introduce Natalie Rushinoff. They're coming to us from Beyond Plastics online.
Hi, everybody. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope everyone's having a great evening. So my name is Natalie, and I work for Beyond Plastics. Our mission is to end plastic pollution, and the way that we do that is through education and advocacy. And I'm here tonight because we're hoping to present to the Environmental Concerns Committee on a bill expected to be voted on in the 2026 legislative session. The bill is called the Packaging Reduction and Recycling Infrastructure, and it would establish an extended producer responsibility program for plastics and packaging. So this ensures that producers have to help with the management and cleanup of the packaging that they produce. Right now, the burden falls on municipalities and taxpayers. So if passed, the bill will set targets for companies to reduce their plastic packaging and ensure that other packaging materials are recycled at a 75% rate. It will also ban the 17 most toxic chemicals from being used in packaging, which include formaldehyde and lead. These chemicals have a severe health impact. So we're trying to build support in key districts, and we're hoping to present to the committee, and that if this is in line with Community Board 12's vision, that you guys will pass a resolution of support. And yeah, so that's my pitch. I hope I'm in the 2-minute timeline.
Thank you very much. So we should get rid of all those Poland Spring bottles we see on the table.
Yes.
All right. This ends Community Speaks. We have who's gonna go first? Eric Denowitz or Jeffrey Denboss?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. By the way, the last person who just spoke reminded me, in my office, I don't allow K-cups. We only have like a coffee maker to make a pot of coffee, because in part for the environment, and then for the staff that purchase coffee, I just shame them and make fun of them, because we have free coffee in the office. Why would you pay $9 for a cup of coffee? Right? Whatever it is, it's too much money, because nothing beats free 99. So it's good to see you all. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Eric Dinowitz. I'm the city council member for the 11th council district, which is Woodlawn and part of Wakefield, like the northwest part of Wakefield. Just a few things. My office is on 231st and Corlear Avenue in Kingsbridge, but once a month we have office hours in the Wakefield Library. This month it's on the 30th. So come by if you want to come a little closer to home to see me or staff member. Come by. We'd love to see you. We have leaf bags for those of you who own a home and want to get rid of your leaves. Today we heard a piece of legislation that I introduced about print accessibility. I don't know if this has happened to you, if you have visual impairment, maybe you have dyslexia, but oftentimes city documents are printed out, we hand them out to people, things like fire safety, scam alerts, and they're printed in very, very tiny fonts or with color contrast that is not at the right ratio, or they have little extra things called serifs on them that make them hard to read. My bill says that the city has to create guidelines for print accessibility, and agencies have to print documents that are accessible for all New Yorkers, even those with visual impairments. So we heard that today. I'm hoping to get it passed this year. I do want to address a 311 issue. Just as a reminder, when you file a 311 complaint, you should be filling out the survey that you get after the case is closed. That's my legislation. The reason you're able to do that is my legislation. And it was directly related to the complaints we were getting about my case is closed, and who do I even complain to about it? How do we hold agencies accountable? My legislation allows you to do that. Speaking quickly, because I want to spend just 2 minutes talking about this election. And I don't mean the mayoral election. Heck, I don't even mean my election, even though I'm on the ballot. There are a number of proposals on the ballot this November. You'll have to flip over your ballot to get to these questions. And I want to talk about questions 2 through 4, which deal with land use and zoning, something this community board is very accustomed to, very familiar with. And the questions read something like, let's fast track affordable housing. Let's make it easier to build affordable housing. And they actually sound really great. I'm going to very quickly tell you what they do. They take away the community board and the New York City Council's ability to negotiate with your support on your behalf for rezonings. And this applies to a lot of rezonings, and even the ones that will still go through the council can be appealed by the mayor, the speaker, and the borough president. So we know Wakefield Village is a development that's coming up. And one of the reasons this board and I are able to be so involved in those negotiations, one of the reasons we're going to be having, they had to be rescheduled because of city agency stuff, but one of the reasons we're having community outreach and the developers coming to the table, and we're going to be able to have conversations about affordability, home ownership opportunities, union involvement, if we want community facilities, parking. The reason we're able to have leverage in those negotiations is because it is ultimately, that zoning change is ultimately going to come before the city council for a vote. And I, with your support, will either be supporting that rezoning or rejecting it. And the council will be supporting it or rejecting it. What these proposals 2, 3, and 4 do is if you vote yes, it will take that ability of the council to vote for rezonings, therefore take away our ability as a community to negotiate for what we want to see in developments. Now, maybe you like that. And if you think communities have too much power when it comes to rezonings and when it comes to development, if you think you have too much power, then you should vote yes. If you think, you know what, the community should have a voice and the council should have a vote to be able to leverage the developers and the mayor to say, hey, like we want more for our community, or you know what, we want more 2 and 3 bedrooms, or we want some parking, or we want home ownership opportunities. If you think we should retain that ability, then you should vote no. I'm not going to tell you how to vote. But I will tell you that as a, I'm not, you can vote how you want. But use your. This is not electioneering. I'm telling you the difference between them. And in fact, I'm going to lead you to a website. It's called whatsonmyballot.nyc. Well, it will explain. This isn't a secret. This is what they do. And in fact, when the Charter Commission was hearing testimony, they said, well, you know, the council's getting in the way of housing development. That is an opinion they have, and it's an opinion some people have. They say the council's getting in the way of housing development. And so let's cut the city council and the ability of the city council to leverage out of the equation for housing development. That is the opinion of the Charter Commission. And that's okay. The other side, the no side says, no, the council does have a role in these developments. And look, we see what happens with as-of-right developments when the developer negotiates with the mayor. We see developments come up, and that's zoning. The housing comes up, and sometimes that housing's $3,000 for a studio apartment. That's on Housing Connect. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's just how it is. Sometimes these housing developments turn into homeless shelters. That's just what happens in this community. We know that. That's our experience here in Wakefield. And look, if you want more of that, that's okay. I'm not telling you what to feel. I'm just telling you that if you want to empower the mayor and developers to have more control over development, then you should vote yes. Okay? And otherwise vote no. All right. Any questions? Okay.
Yeah, my mouth is big enough, but I'll speak in the mic. Okay, I will agree with you because when I saw it on the back of my ballot, because I do an absentee ballot, and I read them, I says, who the hell do these people think they are, shoving this crap down our throat? I'm 100% no on this because the community board, what? I know. Well, okay. Well, I will say what it does, it takes every right that the community board has to, vote against it or so forth. It takes it away from us.
Well, just to be clear, what it does is in question number 2, what it will do is it'll truncate the community board or perhaps eliminate the borough presidents in some cases, but yeah, I didn't say that. Why don't you let me finish my answer, and then you can argue with me. It'll, I think in some cases, eliminate the borough president's comment, or in some cases overlap the borough president and community board comment period. The change comes, like, look, I represent all of you, right? So I'm going to, when it comes for votes, always be listening to you. What these proposals will do will cut the city council out of housing zone is many zoning changes, and you may be in favor of that. But just when it comes to this community, if I'm saying like I'm with you when it comes to rezoning, and the rezonings come before a vote of the council, and you take that away, via the transitive property, it necessarily takes away your leverage. Doesn't take away your ability to comment on rezonings, but it does take away your leverage. Now you want to disagree?
Yes, I think that, based on the campaign finance laws, electioneering is a statement designed to urge the public to elect or defeat a certain candidate or ballot referendum to support or oppose. I think that, what City Council has been doing with these massive amounts of mailers is engaging in something that's inappropriate. We're all public officials. We're not supposed to be urging people to vote no or yes on ballot measures. And I think that it's a little bit short-sighted, and there's a lot of nuance to this conversation that I think the City Council's failing to explain.
First, I'll just say when it comes to the law, we are following the law. We are sending out information about it. So I want to be very clear on that. If you have a complaint, you could certainly file that complaint, but this has been vetted, and that's why we are allowed to send out information. And I, again, direct you to go to what'sonmyballot.nyc, which will clearly state what is on the ballot and what it means on your ballot. And to be very clear, the questions also then subsequently have abstracts, but the abstracts don't tell you what the language is in the charter changes. So there is language that's being used, and I would argue that the questions themselves are misleading. Just in terms of, and this is something I feel, whether it's about these questions or whether it's about development in New York City, they use this word affordable. And I will tell you, the word affordable simply means it gets government subsidies, which can be at up to like 130% of AMI. You can all go on Housing Connect right now and find studio apartments for over $4,000 a month. I'm not sure on what planet that's affordable, but it's certainly not in this planet, in our city. Is that affordable for anyone? But that's the language that is used. So we can have a conversation about language. Thank you, sir. About the language used on these questions.
Okay, I don't agree. I believe he's educating us, not telling us how to vote and putting it into plain language. And I want to applaud you for that. And thank you so much for helping us and putting in layman's terms where everyone can understand the language.
I appreciate that. All of you know I was a teacher before this, and I was a Democratic district leader, so both education, voter outreach is important.
Thank you. Go ahead, Jeff.
I do want to ask this question because this is important in terms of building affordable housing. That's something that I can't speak for everybody on the board, but something that I personally am very invested in making sure that there's available affordable housing. You spoke about AMI. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Isn't AMI, the issue of AMI and why these apartments are so expensive on Housing Connect is not just a developer issue, but it's also HUD and the fact that we can't get AMI redefined?
Yes and no. So yes, you're correct about AMI. AMI is the area median income, which includes very, very, very wealthy neighborhoods. So it would appear that, oh, like the median income is much higher than it really is for us in the Bronx. And that does relate to subsidies that the city receives. However, those are decisions, when it's as of right, when it's the city and the mayor and the developer making those determinations, they determine what they determine. And, to some extent, you don't want, for a two-story building, maybe you don't want a vote on every single building, right? But when you're, we are rezoning or potentially rezoning for Wakefield Village. We're talking about, as a community, rezoning this entire neighborhood, right? And we are doing that as a community. And because it has to go through a vote of the city council, we are able to leverage that vote to get deeper affordability. I just did it in Kingsbridge, where I said to the developer, they came to us early. They rezoned an area on 230 Verse and Broadway. And I said, look, here's what's important. We want it to be affordable for the community. We want 2- and 3-bedroom apartments. We want parking. We want environmental resiliency. They did it all. Now, some people may say, we don't like that because that costs money. The developer may not like it because it could say, oh, well, we're not able to build as much. Or the city will say, you're asking for a few $1 million for a community center. We don't want to pay for the community center. And those are other arguments. Fundamentally, I believe if we are building housing, we should do everything we can to make it actually affordable for the people who live here. And I'm sure you want to move on. So I'm just going to put you onto this. There's a flyer out there I left Monday, we are having 2 webinars to dive in more deeply to what each of these questions actually mean. One's at 2 o'clock, one is at 7:30, both on Zoom. I sent it out in my newsletter so you can register directly. If you want to register for my newsletter, you can take out your phones right now, ericdinowitz.nyc/newsletter. If you want to just head over to the table on your way out and grab one of these flyers, it's a very easy website to type in yourself to register. I highly encourage you. It is very important to me that we have educated voters who are educated about the ballot proposals. However you want to vote is up to you, but just make sure you're educated about them and you know what it'll mean for this city. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Assemblyman Jeffrey Dinowitz. Usually when you hear that, you say no relation. Relation. Anyway, I'm very impressed by the 7 giant screens you have here. How'd you do that? What? Anyway, very nice. So I'm going to be brief. First, I just wanted to say I came here today because I haven't been in person since, I guess, last June. I think you had a September meeting, but we were not able to make it. I wasn't. And I'm always impressed by this board because you have people coming from the community speaking out on the various issues, and that's important. It's not always like that with every board. I represent the 81st district, so Speaker Hasty has the majority of Board 12. My district and his district meet at Barnes Avenue. So if you're west, that's me. If you're east, that's him. The majority of you are in Speaker Hasty's district. So anyway, a few weeks ago, we did a shredding event. We had the gigantic shredding truck, and a whole bunch of people from Wakefield and Woodlawn came over to shred their secret documents and all their old bills and everything. And you can't believe how long some people save stuff. I know personally how long I've saved stuff. So it's really a good service for the community. So we had a lot of people participating. So those of you who came, thank you. Those of you who didn't, I guess you still got a lot of stuff to shred. I wanted to make one mention, the young woman who spoke earlier about the bill concerning packaging. I just wanted to second what she said. That legislation is a bill that I'm very strongly supportive of, and you should know the bill number. It's Assembly Bill 1749. And that bill is one of the top priorities of people who care about the environment around the state. It's a tough bill to pass because anytime you have a big environmental bill like the Superfund Act, which I actually did pass this year, but bills like that always attract strong opposition from entities with lots and lots of money, chemical companies or fossil fuel companies, as the case may be. So they're tough bills to get passed. But the sponsor of I'm one of the co-sponsors. The sponsor of the bill, Assembly Member Glick, has been at this for a long time, and hopefully we can get it done. And that'll all these things add up and make a difference. You know, several years ago, we changed the law and we eliminated plastic bags at supermarkets. And a lot of people didn't like that. I wasn't so thrilled with it. We used those plastic bags. We put our garbage in it, whatever. It was a bit of an inconvenience at the time. But it's actually made a huge difference for the better in the environment. And you know what? When you look up at trees, you know what you don't see anymore? You don't see those plastic bags in the trees. I mean, that was just one of the things that always irked me. So, you know, a lot of things often don't seem great at first, but sometimes they turn out to be very good, but it takes a lot of time. I'm going to comment for a few seconds on the last subject, and I'm not bound by any rules of the New York City Charter or the City Council, so I'm just going to say in one sentence, those 3 proposals, in my opinion, 2, 3, and 4, it's a power grab by real estate developers to build whatever they want, wherever they want, whenever they want, as much as they want. That's what it's all about. And, you know, the city passed the City of Yes last year, this year, and that in and of itself is going to generate a lot of development. And it's true, of course, we need more housing, particularly affordable housing. But those ballot proposals, I believe, will lead to what I said, this runaway development where there are no rules, no restraints, the community won't have any say in anything. So that's all I'll say on that. But the last thing I wanted to say is this. The state legislature goes back into session at the beginning of the year, but we have a big job ahead of us because of something that was originally called the Big Beautiful Bill, that monstrosity that was passed by the Congress back in June. And what that's going to do is the following, and I think we all know this. In order to pay for tax cuts for corporations, for billionaires, and for people who are quite well off in general, those tax cuts will take out huge amounts of money from the federal treasury. So you have to pay for it somehow. And how it's going to be paid for are enormous cuts to healthcare around the country. So tens of millions of people are going to be thrown out of their the healthcare that they get through Obamacare, through the Affordable Care Act, and millions of other people are going to pay premiums, a multiple of what they're paying now. Their premiums are going to double, triple, quadruple even. And this is all because those cuts to healthcare and other things will save the federal government money in order to finance those tax cuts. So what's going on in Washington right now? Well, actually, nothing's going on because the Speaker of the House has not even called Congress back into session for the past month. But what's going on is the Republicans, the majority wants to automatically, renew the budget as is, and and Schumer and Jeffries want to get the healthcare stuff restored. That's what they're doing. And, of course, both sides are blaming the other. Well, this government shutdown is their fault. No, it's their fault. Well, when there's something important worth fighting for, you don't just give it up because the president says it's your fault. Schumer and Jeffries, the leaders, the minority leaders in the two houses, are trying to negotiate a deal to undo what was done in June in terms of severely limiting or almost eliminating Obamacare and making sure that people aren't driven into bankruptcy because of increased healthcare costs. So, every day it's on TV, it's day 28 or whatever the number of days is of the shutdown, but that's what it's all about. It's all about trying to get that stuff restored. And we, on the state level, we're going to have to deal with the fallout one way or the other of the costs. We're not going to let people end up on the streets because they can't afford their health care. So the state may have to pick up a lot of that slack, and that's part of what we're going to have to be working on as we approach the new legislative session. So everything costs, one way or the other, everything costs. Anyway, I will leave it at that because I don't want to overstay my welcome. So anyway, thank you all very much. And my office, we're always reachable. We have stuff on the table out there, so you can get us by phone, by email, by everything else, and you can always visit. I love visitors.
All right.
What? Oh, yes. And one of my staff members, her name is Anna Cohn. She's on the Zoom or the whatever you have, WebEx, and she'll be here for the future meetings as well. So anyway, thank you all, and
Thank you,
hope to see
Assemblyman.
you soon.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Nobody has questions, right? Right. Okay. What? How's Elliot? She's talking about Congressman Elliot Engel. He's getting along. I will do that. Okay.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to thank you and your son for coming here and educating us, all right, on what's going on, all right? I don't think it's electioneering because you're not telling people who to vote, but thanks for educating us.
I would
That's what we need more.
never tell anybody how to vote.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have any more elected officials?
Have a good night, everybody.
Councilman Representative, Councilman Kevin Riley.
Hi, good night, everybody. My name is Andy Torcios. I am Councilmember Riley's constituent liaison. I just want to be very brief, so I'm going to go right into legislation. Intro 1247, 1248, and 1249 of 2025. Sponsors are Kevin Riley and also Eric Dinowitz. It provides deeper assistance for not-for-profits. Eligible not-for-profits would be able to obtain advance payment of contracts, establish an Office of Contract Services and human resource agencies to have action plans put in place if certain metrics aren't met. Each bill has its own language as to what it'll be purposed for, about what it can do for certain not-for-profits regarding their contracts, but that is like the premise of like what is significant about all three bills. We're bringing back participatory budgeting. So we're doing a collection phase again. It's running through Monday through Friday. The last day for the collection phase is November 28th. You can visit our community page, so that's tr.ee/CM Kevin C. Riley. And you can put your idea map, or you can visit one of our offices to submit an actual paper ballot as well. For events, we're having a annual Making Strides Breast Cancer Walk on October 26th, that's Sunday, at 8 a.m. right in front of Sephora at the Bay Plaza Mall. If you're interested with walking us, please contact us at 718-684-5509. We're having our annual Halloween truck or treat at the YMCA, October 25th from 12 to 2 p.m. And we're having our community cleanup with NYCH2O and MPC on November 1st from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're going to be starting at White Plains Road and East 215th, so that's November 1st. And as always, we have our constituent services, office services, which is New York State Unclaimed Funds. We actually had it a couple of weeks ago. It's every like first to second week of Thursday. And of course, we have our Veterans Advocacy Project, which is for veterans who want to seek legal services, and of course, their families as well can also seek legal services. Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Hi, good evening. Hello. Hi, good evening. My name is Rochelle. I'm one of the constituent services liaisons for Congressman Richie Torres' office. Excuse me. So I just have some short announcements for this month. So the current federal government shutdown started on October 1st, 2025, after Congress failed to pass funding litigation. It is now the second longest shutdown in U.S. history. Another announcement is that Congressman Torres with other Democrats are fighting to include in any short-term funding bills an extension of enhanced tax credit under the Affordable Care Act, which is set to expire at the end of the year. So these Affordable Care Act tax credits help keep healthcare affordable for 24 million Americans. Without the extension, premium could more than double, rising by an average of 114%. Combined with proposed Medicaid cuts, as many as 14 million Americans could lose healthcare coverage. Also, there are currently serious concerns about funding for SNAP benefits, which could run out in November if the shutdown continues. Due to the government shutdown, some federal agencies have been reduced or suspended their services. Our office currently is still open and provides assistance. Just a heads up that some agencies are delayed. That could be, for example, Social Security, IRS, any federal agency. I know that the Veterans Affairs Office, specifically for veteran records, is not operating right now. So they are shut down at the moment. And if anyone has been affected by the shutdown or received a letter notifying that their healthcare premium has increased, please contact our office. We are located at 540 East Fordham Road, Suite 2A, and our office phone number is 718-503-9610. Thank you.
Elena, can you hear us from the mayor's
Yes,
office?
I can. Hi, good evening, everyone. So Alina Dow, Bronx Borough Director for the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs. Good to see you all. So I did just want to share that the mayor did make a huge announcement. Today, they are launching a pilot program to actually have the first DCAS childcare service inside one of the city buildings. This is a pilot program, but if it's able to continue to grow and fester how it's envisioned, city workers will actually be able to not have to worry about childcare because they'll be able to bring their children with them to their office, and the daycare center might actually be in the building. So, you know, while the mayor did say that he will not be running again, he is still continuing to get the work done. And as you're aware, I am continuing to get the work. So the Office of Community Affairs is not shutting down. We are still working full
She's
throttle.
not
It's not
Richie
going to
Torres.
stop. Please continue to contact me with any issues or concerns. I am still the conduit between you all, the mayor, and the mayor's agency. So my phone number is 914-446-8393. And my email is adowe, ADOWE, at City Hall, that's one word, .nyc.gov. So I look forward to talking with you all soon. Bye.
All right, thank you. We have a lady back.
Borough President's Office.
Bianca Stevenson, I'm very excited to be here. I am actually the Borough President's new liaison to Community Board 12. So you'll be seeing me. Also, I'm excited because I actually live in CB12 in Williamsbridge, so I'm a neighbor as well. So yeah, I think that makes it a little bit more exciting. This is actually my third week, so I don't even know what my phone number is. I have one, but I don't know what it is. But I'll figure it out. But I'm not new to community boards. I actually came from Brooklyn Community Boards, where I've worked with President Reynoso for 3.5 years. So I'm excited to be here. Okay, so I just have a couple quick announcements. I left the flyers out in the front. We have Think Pink ACBO, which is a breast cancer awareness dialogue on Wednesday, October 29th, which is an enlightening panel conversation dedicated to raising awareness and fostering community support around breast cancer. We have Self-Care Matters, a trauma workshop that will be at the Borough Hall, 851 Grand Concourse, room 203. And finally, Reso A funding informational session. That's on November the 13th in the Rotunda at Borough Hall. And of course, that is all about funding schools and so forth. So that's my announcements for today. I'll be happy to meet you all. Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Carmen from Senator Bailey's office. Are you online?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm a special assistant for Senator Bailey's office. Our office is located at 959 East 233rd Street. And if you need any assistance, you can contact our office at 718-547-8854 or via email at senatorjbailey@nysenate.gov. I'm sorry? Just a small update regarding events. Our office will be participating in the Trunk or Treat event at the Northeast Bronx YMCA this Saturday, as well as the Breast Cancer Walk on Sunday. We'll be meeting outside of Sephora at 7:30 a.m. And lastly, in partnership with Bragg, we are having a haunted Halloween event from 3 to 6 p.m. on Halloween at 825 East 233rd Street. That is all.
Thank you very much. So this is the end of our elected officials. Let me just double check. Is there any elected officials online that we missed? Okay, guess not. So Clinton Mike, are you on? We're trying to have a district manager report. Clinton's away, so he was going to call in and join us. He's not on yet, so we could swing back to him. Any committee reports? Any committees met this month that want to report? Okay.
So last month, I mentioned that Renzi Playground got capital funding from the city of Yes passing. We got the dollar amount, it's $19.8 million. So Renzi Playground is going to get almost $20 billion, and that's going to go to bettering our playground equipment, maybe putting in a dog run, something like that. So we're still soliciting feedback for people's ideas. So if you have an idea what you want Renzi Playground to look like, feel free to contact me after the meeting.
Okay.
Just for people who don't know where the playground is, the address.
Yeah, the playground is between White Plains Road and Barnes Avenue at like 226th Street. Is that right?
Where are we at?
It's 226th and 225th, right next to Public School 37, I think. 21. Yeah. So I'm not sure the timing. We can get that. Right now they're doing the ideation phase, but this is all because Community Board 12, we got it on our district needs as a capital priority, and Councilmember Riley got the council to get it in for City of Yes. No, I think they're still in like the design phase. You know, these types of things last a long time, but you know, it's there and it's funded. I think they do a procurement process that's been vetted through the city's process so that it's fair and non-biased. You want to speak into the mic?
Can your committee please write a letter recommending that these hires, whoever the contractors are, hire from our neighborhood and our community? Because we want our money funded right back into our community members.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And union, make sure it's prevailing wage.
Okay, I can't guarantee
No, I'm
anything.
no.
Listen,
You know what? Let me
it's
tell
already
you,
funded.
in this economy, we need prevailing wage. It's a game changer for our community members, and we deserve that kind of respect in our communities.
I agree with you.
Okay, let's keep the money where it belongs, here.
All right, great. Clinton, are you on? Okay. He's not. So we're gonna go back. I guess that is new business with Clinton. Does anyone have anything that they want to bring before the committee? While we wait for Clinton. Yeah, we might come. Yeah, she's talking to me.
Can't find the link.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I didn't just want to make sure I sent a flyer to Ursula. I don't know if she received it or not, but every year, the Eastwood Catering Hall on Eastchester Road give us a free Thanksgiving dinner. And I host it every year for the past 12 years. What it is that Billy, who owned the Eastwood and Maestro, give me the whole entire Eastwood for us to feed our community, whether you're seniors, family, shelter, schools, regular family members. You RSVP to me because the Eastwood will not take your RSVP. And my number is very easy to be found, 917-797-1771. If you lose my number, you could call Ursula or the precinct. Kidding. I'm kidding. Officer Bell will have my head. It's a wonderful event. Last year, we fed 585 people.
Okay.
This year, he gives it the whole hall from soup to nuts, music, dancing, and Thanksgiving parade around the wall. So therefore, I start seating on Thanksgiving Day at 10:30 a.m. in the morning, and it goes until 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Believe me, it's the best Thanksgiving dinner outside your home that you could have. Thank you. It's on Thanksgiving Day, the 27th of November. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny Goff. Clinton
Good
Mike,
evening.
can you
Good
hear us?
evening. I'm here. Good evening.
Okay. I'm gonna give you district manager's report. I mean chairman's report.
I sent it out in the email.
Okay, so we could all, yes, I saw it. So you just wanted to just join us or?
I'm just joining.
Okay, all right, bye-bye. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to the next subject, which is gonna be the election of the new chairperson. And I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Stricker.
Everybody, it's time to vote in a new chairman. And we need nominations from the floor. Any nominations from the floor? Speak up. I'm on the mic. I said we're going to do the election now, and we need nominations. Do we have a nomination from the floor?
I would like to nominate Clinton Mike. That was second by Alfredo.
Okay, Clinton, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other nominations? Being none, I'll go one more time. Any other nominations? That's two.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, Ursula, you can't run.
oh,
And
Paul Stricker, I'd like to nominate John Isaac for chair.
no,
Interim, he's interim. So could he, is this a
do
debate?
you accept the nomination? Oh, he ran out the door.
I got it. Is there somebody going to second this?
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if somebody can, but John has to accept.
John, do you accept?
Okay. Where is Ursula? Because we're going to have to take a vote via paper. Ursula, you around? Well, huh?
Call.
Okay, he said he's not going to run, so that's easy. All we have to do is have the secretary do John Isaac is not run. Okay. Can we finish? Yeah. No. He was Clinton was nominated for the full chair, and he accepted. Now we have to vote him in, and if
Point of
how we
order.
can do this and make it real fast is anybody opposed to Clinton being the chair? No. I'm just going to say let's.
Point of order. Is it possible to nominate the whole slate and then do one vote? Okay. All right. Sorry. Rescinded.
Okay, so Madam Secretary, do you want to? Oh, you got your.
Guys.
Okay, let's go. Ready? We're voting for the election of chairperson. Are we all on the same page on this? What are we saying, Antonia?
We're just asking for confirmation so everybody's on the same page, both
Yeah.
online as well as in the room. So currently, we have an interim chair.
You need to put down your mic.
Let me just speak.
Bring your volume down on your pad.
Right? Because it was this one, right? So, to replace our interim chair, we're getting ready to have an election. So far, there were 2 nominations for one person.
One nomination. John decided not to run.
Okay.
He's only person running. All we have to do is have an official vote to vote him as a chair.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
No, hold on a minute. Before we go further, I need to do a roll call, and at the same time I'm doing the roll call, you give me your vote for the chairperson. Okay, because I know a couple of people have left the room. How many speeches, how many people are talking here?
Guys, one conversation, please.
Okay, let's go. Carlton Berkeley. Carla Basati. Carla Basati. That's fine. Did she answer me?
Aye.
Did she answer me? She said yes?
Yes.
Who, no, I'm, Carla is what? I'm not asking him. Carla Basati.
No, Colin, this is Colin.
Oh, God. Give me a, okay. Okay, Patricia Boswell. Yes, thank you. Michelle Brumfield. She's online, Brumfield. Did she answer me? No. I can't work with them. They have to have themselves on camera and they have to answer. Okay? Joan Cloud is excused. Carrie Cotton. Terry Cotton. Terry Cotton, not present. Antonia Davis. Tolene Dickinson. Tiara Donaldson. Thank you. Denise Echeverria. Thank you. Jasmine is excused. Alfredo Figueroa.
And yes.
Okay, who are you doing? It's not me.
My bad.
Okay, Sabrina Fisher. Sabrina Fisher, not present. Johnny Goff. Sheila Grierson. Robert Hall. John Isaac.
Present and yes.
Alpha. Robert Lee.
Present and yes.
Thank you. Javid Lilly. Thank you. Mark is, I haven't seen Mark in a while. Mark, not present. Lucia Martin, I believe is excused. Oh, for myself, I'm present and yes. Kimon Martin, Miss Martin. Thank you. Mami Masa, not present. Not present. Okay. Antoinette Mitchell. Not present. Philomena Moss.
Present and yes.
Thank you. Elise Murray. Yeah. Darrell Nami. Thank you. Carmen Ortiz, I got your answer, Carmen. Wayne Palmer. Reginald Paris. Ariel Peters. Dominique Finn. Anthony Reed, not present. Rosa Nicholas, excused. Sherry Samuels. Thank you. Karen Skinner. Karen Skinner. Not present. It's Carl Stricker.
President, and yes.
Thank you. I know, it was very hard.
No mics?
We didn't hear you.
Benga Sever, I know you're on virtual.
Virtual, yeah. President, yes.
Thank you. Luke Sabados.
Aye.
Deborah Torado. Deborah. Not present. And Troy Thomas. Clinton Mike is present on virtual.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Present.
you. It's, I know. It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Clinton.
Okay, now that we have a brand new chairman, there's a space that has been vacated. First vice chair. So next month, we will have a vote on the first vice chair. Anybody interested in running, please let it be known in November, which is the third week of November because we don't meet on Thanksgiving. So the meeting will be the third week of November.
Moving right along. We have a presentation by the Education Committee, like a 5-minute presentation by Dr. Sherry Samuels.
Good evening, everybody. So as you might not be aware, but October, along with breast cancer awareness, it is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I have a quick little presentation that we're going to show. You can go to this. So key points, domestic violence is more of an intimate violence, and it is a significant public health issue. A lot of people don't realize. Domestic violence has a profound impact on people's health, opportunities for them to succeed, as well as their well-being. So what exactly is intimate partner violence? So aggression, it can be very subtle, or it can be very apparent, and it usually comes with physical contact, or it can be psychological. It usually varies on how it occurs. We look at it how different ways that it can occur. So it can be episodic, it can happen from time to time, and this usually occurs because of increased stress levels from the perpetrator. Or it could be chronic, which is continuous, and it can happen almost daily. And this can be in response also to daily stressors. And this can cause the person to act out. So when we look at statistics here, the statistics are astounding. Millions of people in the US are affected. 41% of domestic violence cases are affected with women, as well as 26% with men. It usually starts early in teens. It starts usually before the age of 18. And this is where parents have to have that early talk with their children and, to help decrease the statistics. It impacts all peoples regardless of race, and especially marginalized people. That will be people who are ethnic minority groups. They have an increased risk with increased consequences. It usually results in injuries, and as we see in the news, it can also result in death with people. It has negative effects on health. It affects cardiac, increases stress levels with people. And normally, when people are affected by domestic violence, there's depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, are usually the common results. The high cost to society is normally affected with criminal justice, people with losing work, and healthcare that's needed for injuries. So we have different types of violence. We have physical, which is the use of physical force. We have sexual violence, which is the use of forced sexual acts, which is also known as rape. We have stalking, which is repeated unwanted attention by the partner, which increases fear. And we have psychological aggression, and this can be verbal or nonverbal with the intent to harm a partner in efforts to gain control over them. So how do we prevent it? We got to understand and address the factors that place people at risk. Try to promote healthy relationships, helping to provide resources for those in need, and recognizing groups who are marginalized from certain minority groups who have higher consequences. And if anybody asks for help, try to help them, send them resources, be there for them, listen to them, and also asking for help and taking care of yourself. Thank you.
I just have a quick thing to piggyback on. I made a rare appearance at the 47th precinct, and they also said that we have a spike in the Community Board 12. And also, they emphasized that 911 calls are just more than just intimate partners. It's also domestic violence. It could be siblings, it could be, in the household. And I think that a lot of people just think of domestic violence as boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife, and they don't realize that it could be sibling relationship, cousin, uncle, it could be a broad band. And of course, because we have that spike right now, is something that we definitely need. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. I think this is it. And that was the last. Could I get a motion?
So move.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Hold on. Getting this toast. If you're still on, Mike, congratulations, baby.
Since we're still on Mike Clinton, we have to have a block party in order for you to stay in, because that's what I wanted to ask, but I was trying to be respectful.
Having technical issues?